Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gamestah Heroes of the Storm Ember series. Once again, my name is Kit Fox, and we have got Tetris once again going up against the Gaming Gladiators for their first appearance on stage in week 4. They will be shoutcasted, of course, by the two main boys across the pond, Skimmy and Starving. Boys, this game, the winner of this game will have to play the loser of Bogson Jeffries and Maximise for a shot in the grand final.
Yeah, definitely. And both those teams, my friend Kurt Fox, they are scary competitors to go up against. So,
yeah.
Of course, you're not going to be wanting to go up against either of those, whether it be the winner or loser. So, Gaming Gladiators versus Tetris. We've already seen Tetris play pretty well today. Of course, RA are out for this week, unfortunately, but hopefully they come back. I love those boys. Keen to see them once more. Don't know about you, Skimmy. Certainly I can speak on your behalf there. But, we're getting into the drafting of the maps here. So quick around here. Things have been keeping up. Really got a shout out to the players and everyone who's participated in this event. I guess you could say the players themselves are quite in touch with this this production, I guess you can say. So thank you to all of you viewers, all the players as well. You're making this such a more smooth process as well. So I'm really happy with that, and thank you for that. But on that note, why don't we move on? So
let's move on indeed. Actually, we had a draft link before, and they went for 2-Minute Spider Queen, but this time they've actually banned out the 2-Minute Spider Queen. It's left Dragon, Shire, and Sky Temple, 2 maps we haven't seen on stream today, and Tetris have been given a lot of love today. Every single round we've seen Tetris in the mix, so definitely giving a bit of a shout out to them and displaying their skills for all of ANZ to see. But Sky Temple is the map they've gone for. Game Gladiators have the first ban and the first pick. They take away Falstad straight away. Not a fan of that global pressure.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, while we're just having a quick look at the bans and whatnot going on, we do see Falstad being the first ban for the side of Gaming Gladiators. So obviously a character that has a lot of global pressure on the map. He can fly from point A to point B and pretty much almost an instant Skimmy and, be there to assist teammates or whatever you're doing, getting a point on the map or whatnot.
Well, yeah, and as a result, they actually take out Kelfast Tetris, so they're not a fan. They saw what it did last time, and they're not keen to give that one up again, as Gaming Gladiators now had the very first pick of this one. So depends how they want to go for this one. A map where definitely brawling is the name of the game, less so than the sort of team fight. Well, actually, I should say team fight. It's interesting, though, because they've gone for the Zagara very first pick, which is not a pick we've seen for quite a while in the meta. She fell out for quite a while, but definitely still a strong pick, a strong solo laner. And we saw Tetris go up against it earlier today.
Yeah, she's got a lot of damage when ignored. It's one of those characters. So when you're continuing to sit in the backline, a lot of Zagaras like to pick up that battle momentum and just keep pumping out Hydras and just keep pumping out that DPS. You can really see heroes like Zagara become a really big nuisance in team fights that don't necessarily end quickly, and with the more potential as well, you can really set up some big wombo combo plays that aren't really too common these days either. But Tetris, they respond to the first pick Zagara with the first pick of their own, Li Ming. They also have a second pick coming up in which they aren't even hovering yet, so they're thinking about this one. Pretty important.
If it's going to be the same as what we've seen earlier today, they're going to go for that Rhaegar straight off the bat. We've seen it every single time their second pick. They're actually going to go for the Uther, it seems right now. That's what the Shuddering Cry... No, okay, they actually do go for the lock-in on that one, so changing up the strategy a little bit this time does suggest that they're going to go for a comp that's looking for a lot of dive and somebody don't want to shield up, potentially going to force out a ban by Gaming Gladiators go for the ETC, or even actually make them force to pick it up. Yeah,
definitely, and I mean, with a hero like Zagara, it doesn't actually have a lot of mobility, except when she is on creep. Even then, not a whole lot of mobility. ETC can be very, very effective in just locking her down for that small amount of time. But look at that, Gaming Gladiators, they know what's going on. They aren't interested. They pick up the ETC themselves. So pretty interesting. The other game we saw ETC and Zagara being picked up on the same team was the game we casted, I believe it was the last round, and ETC being with Lily on the team as well as Zagara. It didn't work out too well. But we'll have to see how Gaming Gladiators round out.
I'm really interested to see, though, if this is some ulterior sort of mind bait by Tetris to say that, right, we're going to pick Uther, which is going to mean that you're going to want to go for the ETC, but we didn't even care for the ETC. We just wanted you to choke draft in towards it, which is something we see at these high-level games. But now Tetris, with their very first ban of the second rotation, they said, we've taken Uther, you're not allowed to have Rhaegar, so that's getting taken off the board straight away. Gaming Gladiators instantly shuttered at Sonya. They're saying, we've picked up the Thrall, so you can't have the second best bruiser. So both teams denying their best second counterparts.
Yeah, definitely. And Sonya now being hovered as well as the Bruiser to ban for the side of Gaming Gladiators. So something I quite like here is their first ban being Falstad. They banned out the Falstad for Team Tetris. And now with the ETC, obviously the Gust is so strong against ETC. So it's going to be interesting to see if Tetris Li Ming in Tetris, if she actually doesn't go for the Disintegrate for more disruption on the ETC Ultimate, maybe we won't even see an ETC Ultimate, the Mosh Pit being picked up. You can actually see sometimes, Wave of Force being picked up, and then ETC just says, you know what, I'm going to go stage dive. So it's a bit of a bait in that regard. So it could go both ways. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. But 2 picks on the side of Tetris now after Sonya being banned, and your guess is as good as mine as what they go for here. But wow.
Well, I guess they hover the Abathur here, and I'm wondering if they're actually going to go for the Greymane as well. They might not go for the Greymane straight off the bat. Oh, okay. Well, they're hovering the Illidan, and this is looking like an Illidan comp if you've ever seen it, a delayed Illidan comp at that. With taking Sonya away, they're feeling even more confident to shadow this pick, and this will be very interesting on a map like this because, one, it's a great map for him, but just for the picks he's going up against, not something we imagined. And I would expect then for Tetris to decide to go for Tessadar last pick if they are fully committing for this Illidan.
Yeah, definitely. It makes the comp very, very interesting, though. And also, Illidan against Zagara is going to have a pretty good time as well with the immolation on the slashing strikes, or sweeping strikes, I should say. And as well, when he evades, he's going to be able to evade a lot of worth coming out with those Hydralisks and whatnot. And Illidan's damaged pretty much Skyrockets, but Brightwing really, really like that pick after, especially locking out Illidan Abathur. Means that if Abathur chucks a hat out onto Illidan, a Polymorph will pretty much, just disintegrate any worth that they're going to get out of that, at least for a couple of seconds. They've got time to follow up. But at the moment, Gaming Gladiators team comp's actually looking very nicely rounded out.
Yeah, GG still need one more range carry of some sort right now. They do lack sustain if they do go for the solo Brightwing. They have a lot of shields for engagements on, say, the Fra that wants to get in the mix and try and blow somebody up on his own accord. But with 60 seconds left in this bonus time pool, they have a lot of time to think things through. Range carries that could be of potential for them, cycling through the different options. You've got the Sylvanas for the Wailing Arrow combined with the Mosh Pit, if that's what I want to go for. You've got the Rain of Vengeance, another one that can line up against the Zagara more. But it depends.
When he goes deep.
Correct, and it depends how they want to play this one. So, they're burning down this time pool. They can afford to take their time. They don't need to rush this one through. Tessadar, a bit of a weak pick to pick up against, but definitely something that Illidan wants to be paired with. But they go for the Anubrax, so they scrap the whole idea of another range carry. They're going to use Zagara as the solo backliner, and they're going to have another carry or another diver to complement that. Expect to see that as a DPS Anub. But I'm wondering if they're going to go Cocoon. I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think Cocoon will get too much worth out of this, except for maybe if they got like the Uthra out of there or something like that. But even Abathur Illidan is still such a menace to deal with. So you're probably onto something there with the DPS build, especially as we'll probably see ETC being the main tank, and then Anubarak coming up with a follow up, or maybe even trying to set up ETC with those really nice ultimates with the power slide combo. So going to be very, very interesting here. We're just waiting for both teams to get into the lobby here as we ready up. Toss out your predictions in chat. Which team comp are you liking better? Tetris with the Abathur Illidan composition with Joanna Tank, or Gaming Gladiators with the very nice triple melee comp? They've got the ETC, the Anubarak, Brightwing, and Zagara. So very, very nice. Make sure you get your comments out there. And Kid Fox, what are you thinking so far?
I'm really liking the composition of Gaming Gladiators. We saw them ban out Falstad, and you mentioned it. You called it yourself. They picked up the ETC on top of that into Thrall. So it's looking really nice. But I love Abathur personally. And when you synergize him with someone like Illidan, it's absolutely brutal. So Twitch chat's gone a little bit quiet. They're still catching up. There's still a couple characters behind in the draft. But I'm going to give it to Gaming Gladiators for this one personally. I'm really, really liking their composition.
I would have to say, Tetris, they have an interesting comp in a sense. They had the bread and butter between the Leeming, Ufa, and Illidan. So Illidan's looking to try and do a bit of damage. Leeming's looking for the resets where Illidan dives on towards. But they have an Abathur that's going to try and act as both a Tesla as well as an enabler towards the Illidan. And Joanna really, I feel like the pick towards that Joanna is to try and, clump up all the members, not to mention the Condemn's going to be used to prevent the Mosh Pit if timed well, as well as blind the damage coming out from both Thrall and Zagara. So interesting to see these two comps. I'm always a big fan of the Illadins in my IDs because it's a comp that really relies on you playing it perfectly. The Chinese boys are known for playing these sort of Illidan comps, but a lot of pressure on the Illidan player to perform as, if he mucks up, they find themselves in a bit of a weird and wacky situation.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if they do actually manage to get a snipe on Illidan. Their whole team comp essentially falls apart. Skimmy. So, Very, very excited for this one. Indeed, we'll probably see Kit Fox pretty soon as we're reading up for this game. So excited. This is, of course, round 3 of week 4 of the Ember series. So it's been such a pleasure to be chilling with all you guys, all the returning faces. Thank you for tuning in weekly for this Tuesday fun. You know, we love Heroes of the Storm just as much as you guys, but, you know, it's something that I love more, as well as I could probably speak for Skimmy once again on his behalf, than watching good players play this game. So, you know, a treat indeed.
Absolutely. And we'll be jumping into this one in just a second, but just waiting for these ready players to jump in and get themselves up and going. But yeah, please do chuck out your predictions in the chat, exclamation mark MVP, to go into the chance to win yourself a Commander Reynolds skin provided by our good friends over at Blizzard ANZ. And under that line, do chuck out who you think was the MVP of this game in particular, so both the players as well as the spectators can win themselves some prizes.
Definitely, and that's always nice. You know, not just the players are winning stuff, even the viewers are winning stuff. And you can go in, you can brag to all your friends and say, oh man, where'd you get that nice skin? You can say, you know what, I tuned into Gamestah TV and got myself a free skin. So that's always nice. But it looks like the players are ready. We're going to kick the game off here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is always the most exciting time of the day, Skimmy. I'm getting chills already for the Abathur Illidan comp.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this one goes. And I like the Giant pick at the end because it gives them some much-needed wave clear. Otherwise, they would be struggling from behind with that 4-man sort of rotation. But bear in mind, they do have the Abathur, and that's a global that they're going to have to try and only mirror with a Brightwing. So depending on how Brightwing plays this one, expect to see Brightwing play the solo and I believe the top lane.
Yeah.
Whereas the Zagara will be in the bot lane. But enough of the predictions. Let's jump into the team comps themselves. On the left-hand side, it's Tetris. They're playing blue. And it's going to be Ice Bold Water on Joanna. Sharper is playing the Illidan. Deuces is now on Abathur. Skyfire's on Li Ming. And the Solution is on Uther.
And Gaming Gladiators on the right. They are playing the red side. Anubarak is being played by Zemi. LF Virus playing Thrall. Whiskey on Zagara. Coronan on ETC. And Delphia on Brightwing. So, you know, obviously these names, you've probably heard them before, so pat them on the back and put your hands together, get your drink and get absolutely saturated about it, because we're going to get face first into this game as soon as this loads up. Toss your predictions out in chat, like Skimmy said before, with the MVPs that have been going harping on all day. Exclamation mark MVP.
Almost sound like a bit like a bad dream mother, you know. Like, make sure you do the MVP because, you know, we're in your best interest. You know, we're not going to be those sellouts that have to say these things 20 times a day, but we do want to say it because you want something to win. You want a reason to watch, apart from just our beautiful voices.
Yeah, and the beautiful players.
Beautiful players. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, indeed. You know, your hair's nice, Skimmy, but don't get too ahead of yourself. So, you know, we're going to be getting face first in this game. Let's have a quick look at the talents and see if they pick those up yet. Looks like, you know, and anything standard there? Anything across the board you want to talk about there, Skimmy?
Nah, everything's standard so far, but basically still waiting for both these players to lock their talents in. You know, it's very early on to this game, so we can't rush it too much. We've got to wait for these guys to go for that inevitable watch point gank. And this is one of my favorite moments of the game, you know, when these two teams do collaborate here for what is no more than a free minion XP advantage. So definitely an interesting situation. But this is what I like to say. That's Ice Bold Water rocking the Tyrael Charger, and in my eyes, I call it the tilt mount.
Yeah, definitely. And
Tilts me every time I see it.
Every time I see it, it tilts me as well. More, to be honest, I don't like the Hearthstone mount. Even though I love Hearthstone, I just don't like seeing the mount. It's just really ugly, blocky. Can't go wrong with it though, can you, if you play a bit of Hearthstone? But looks like there's already a bit of a tussle happening in the mid lane as Joanna is getting knocked pretty low. So is Coronan as well, actually. Coronan and Zemi just really keen on these big tussles here, but look at them now. They've all dropped below. Wow, actually looks like Thrall might go down, but he does get saved just in the nick of time. But they're actually forced to tap well, so they're a bit behind. The Abathur really proving to be quite effective there.
And look at this, he's actually using Sharper in the solo lane, so he was actually putting a lot of aggression on towards Zagara there. Not too happy about that one, and forced to actually call further rotate by the ETC, who's now hovering in that bush, waiting for Illidan to once again walk on up. He's going to actually come out in a second because he's playing it pretty aggressive right now, and he's still playing it patiently. He knows he's going in. There goes the dash, and now finally Coronan's going to come in with the power slide. Whiskey is not in sight just yet. He's chasing him, but there goes the evasion, and no more aggression is going to come out of that one, but it does result in a forced tap.
Yeah, definitely. Forced tap for Illidan. It's not so bad, though. Of course, he can self-heal off those auto attacks, but Coronan just still continuing to sit at that bot lane here. He might actually get ganked once more. The evasion's still up for him. Abathur hat as well, but you know what? They are going to have to rotate up pretty soon to capture these temples, as the prompt is telling them. Ice Bold Water is going deep on the Zemi here as he does try and fight them off, and the boss is just wailing on him as well. But Man, what a scary situation to be in. A nice wee stun coming out as well, and actually interrupting that boss, and Thrall just sitting at the top while he caps that by himself.
And that's an interesting point, actually, Starving, because they're actually trying to be greedy here and abuse the fact that Abathur is not a present member right now of this team. They're picking up 2 for 1 right now, and the cap is actually going on because Illidan's actually run up to the top lane now, so it's all 1v1, and Illidan should actually win this if the hat does go on top of him right now. Even without the hat right now, he's actually giving money.
Sharper!
But Sharper actually gets knocked back by the objective, and LAF Virus actually cannot get in there. He is forced to go away, but the hat coming in just at the nick of time, if anything was to favor on.
I can't really comment on that player. It feels like Sharper just got a bit tilted, trying to run away, and walked straight into like a bartender or something like that. Oh, sorry, mate, get blown back. But you know what? Indeed, the greed did pay off. Though they got a lot of shots fired off that top.
Oh no!
Delphia using his running shoes. He's got a pair of Yeezys on, just slipping and sliding. Doesn't quite go down there, but. You know, big plays by Delphia. It's so slow on that right wing.
Oh, absolutely. No way to sort of jump her out. So, you know, it was all up for Skyfire to pick up the shots there, but Delphia does use that fancy footwork to juke that one out. And as a result now, they basically just trade out these 2 towers, but it looks like the advantage is going to go in favor of Tetris right now, as they did cap the mid one. It is going to be favorable due to the mechanics of that. But Sharper with the hack, putting on the aggression once again. 3 members of Gaming Gladiators turn up and say, you cannot get amongst us just yet. But Icebolt Water has something else to say. He pops to condemn, but it forces the full rotate from GG.
I love how they, the Banelings, they just blew up from the bow wow. The Orb came out and they just popped. Awesome. That's very, very satisfying to see. But, you know, they are actually posturing as a team here. Gaming Gladiators just going to walk on off. Looks like Zagara's going to sit at the top lane and try and get some sort of soak there. And, you know, Left Virus, he says, I'm not keen to fight over a watch point. I don't care where you are. So, oh, Sammy getting dropped so low already. Here comes Sharper trying to do some backup damage. Got the hat on him as well. Looking pretty swag with that. Nice hat, mate. But, you know, not able to get that kill onto Sammy there.
Yeah, no, the Pyro as well as the Polymorph is enough to prevent that kill from going across. But they're not going to be too phased. Actually, Sharp actually aggroes the boss and takes a big 2 beatings. So Sharp already tilted by his own plays this one, but he's actually going to go for their golems now. So they're going to begin the siege in the bot hand side. They're going to try and time this one out, as I believe. They're going to pick this one up and then go towards the Knights in the top lane. So try and cap this one out. Try and get as much value out of that as possible. And really allow Abathur to try and push this top lane as much as he can. He's currently sitting there pretty right now. He's got Skyfire rocking up to push it out a little bit more. And they're going to play it patiently as they wait for the next shrines to spawn.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about the spot push, that sort of thing. But you know what? It looks like there's actually a bit of a gank going on to Sharper down here. Well, gank, I say a one-man army comes down. Corona and the ETC come to try and deal with this easy camp with its own easy camp. And, you know, fair enough. Very nicely timed for the side of Gaming Gladiators. Nice time to get the easy camp, and they're actually mirroring pretty much exactly what Tetris are doing right now, getting their own night camp as well. So that sort of point in the game, 4 minutes, 5 minutes almost in, and they just want more map control at this sort of point before level 10.
Yeah, definitely Tetris, though, should have the advantage if they decide to clear this one out. They've actually left Iceboard Water on his very own, taking this one out. He's got no money. He's thankfully got the hat popped in him now, so we can finish this one off without being delayed for too long. But he's going to go for the recall. Temple is activating right now. They've left Zagara, still in a top lane to push this one out, so he's not going to be there to help for just a little bit longer, but he's basically realizing what Abathur's got in mind. He doesn't want Abathur to get too much value from it.
Yeah, and I actually see Abathur at the top lane just being so cheeky as he just puts on his hat, goes into his weak sector and just does this thing. And you know, Zagara's not even interested. He just keeps on pushing. So do like that indeed. Very, very confident plays by the Abathur. But look at this. An engage may actually go off here. Coronan is getting very, very aggressive. There is no level 10 just as of yet, but Sharper, you know, already taking big punch with damage. Here comes Joanna, and the solution actually getting dropped in. So actually going to be able to get stunned. Left Virus gets taken out very, very quickly. So that is Thrall out of the fight. One of the main DPS. Sammy looking to get taken out as well, and indeed he does go down. So that's 20 seconds without 2 core people in your lineup there. So wow, the hard camp still pushing at the top lane, and Zagara is just continuing to split push it.
And that's the interesting situation right now. Zagara was not there the entire time, so naturally, as a result, Tetris can win that fight. They do trade it out, though. They do go for the fort, so trying to equal out the level deficit as much as possible, but Zagara now has to be careful. No mana left in the reserves. Joanna has now come up to the top lane to clear that one out finally. But the temple is still being activated. Shots are being fired there. Illidan is solo on that point. The rest of the Tetris are doing a great job to zone at GG, and they've just hit level 10, so expect a big fight to actually come out now, Starving.
Yeah, they've got the level 10 advantage. They don't need to be worried, and Sharper now is just saying, you know what, it's time to get aggressive. We have the advantage. I want to get something more out of this. So, you know, they're posturing around to do something else, and Skyfire looking to go back and just kind of reset on the Li Ming there. Icebolt Water taking a bit of a beating in the mid, but such a tanky character. He's just being a bit aggressive with that with the hair. But look at this. Here we go. Level 10 has been picked up. Might actually look to get a kill out of here. Sammy getting very, very low already. Blessed Shield being popped to stun and break up the fight, but nice. Level 10 just in time. And a Divine Shield. Oh, mass. Oh, a bit of misplay on the Divine Shield there, actually. And Coronan popping out the ETC Ultimate Mosh Pit. Not able to get a kill. That nice two-man Maw from the back line there. And Illidan finally going down as the Maw had been popped. No heals or anything for him. Even the Abathur had not quite enough. But, wow, Gaming Gladiators really maximizing on that fight with the chains.
And there's the Cocoon. We thought about it. We thought it was going to be a DPS one, but I was wondering whether or not he was going to go for the Locust Swarm or the Cocoon. He goes for the Cocoon, completely locks up Uther, takes him out the equation there. And they find themselves a very favourable trade. So despite losing that temple, they're quite happy to win the team fight. They take out Illidan, they take out Uther. Uther's still in that Divine Clone, popping heals wherever he can see fit. That's the power of his kit, but it's not going to be enough because right now it's Icebolt Water versus the world. He spots 4 members there in the shrub, and he's forced to back away.
Yeah, really convinced with how Gaming Gladiators are playing, though. You know, very confident with their CC. Zammy's playing quite an aggressive frontline as well, even though he's getting dropped so quickly.
And he's soaking a lot of that damage, and it's just burrow charging away, and he's doing a great job in that.
That's what I mean. A lot of players are really put off by that, you know, even though they are the tank, they don't really feel too comfortable with soaking that damage. And Zammy, you know, getting dropped to about 20% every time. He's just, you know, still keeps going in, still keeps doing this thing, and has a lot of trust in his teammates as well as that.
And it's actually mentioned in draft, Wave of Force was picked up there by the Li Ming, and that was despite them getting level 10 first, picked it up without even seeing if Mosh Pit was going to be chosen. So definitely forcing the agenda, if you will. But look at this, now they're actually going to go in for the aggressive invade. Actually, they decide not to. Instead, they actually just catch out Cigar, wrong place, wrong time, feeling very comfortable and secure in the bot lane, but not secure enough because he gets taken out.
Yeah, probably secure just because their team, well, Team Gaming Gladiators right there is just taking the easy camp. So it's pretty obvious to see why he would have felt confident there. But Coronan, you know, he's just sitting there trying to fend off the enemy team. But I'm afraid that tower's not going to last very long, my friend. And it actually looks like Brightwing's in the top lane getting a bit of soak. He does have that global pressure, so mind you, not too bad that he is up there. Looks like he's putting down now. Finally, though, as he is keen to support his team, he is rocked up to the middle shrine to continue the deeps.
Yeah, they're going to trade out temples once again. It looks like they're going to go for the mid one as Joanna sits pretty in the bot lane, which is an interesting situation because they can't invade or actually can't aggress as much as they like to, but they actually take my words back for granted. They go for the kill straight on towards the ETC. They then find another target. They go for Brightwing, and this is the power of the Illidan Li Ming combo because as soon as that kill comes across, that's a reset. Wow, Sundering comes across, but it's not going to be enough. 3 members from GG just get blown up as the pin is pulled.
Yeah, absolutely massive body box by Sharper there. They got away with the charge, and then he just jumped straight behind him with the ability called Dive, which just body blocked him right in that weak crevice there that we see below that hard camp. So very nicely played. Does look like left Virus just be like, please get out of my night camp. I don't want to have to deal with you right now. Like when you wake up in the morning.
Mosh Pit is still available right now. They haven't picked up this night camp just yet. They're still going to have a look for it. Oh, there goes across now. He is forced to use that friend and foe and dive away to harm's way. He's still looking for this. Mosh Pit and more are both available now. Sharper jumps in. He's polymorphed. He might die actually as a result of this. Divine Shield is available, but as long as possible. Huge. Mosh Pit takes them all, and then the more to overlap. And now Zofa completely locked up. No Divine Shield can be used whatsoever, Stuffing, and the fight might just win for them now.
Oh my lord, the chain CC is just so real here. Sammy just showing that an Uberak is not anything you want to be dealing with. Follow it up with the ETC Mosh Pit coming out now. Solution, you have no solution for this, I'm afraid. That is an ace in the hole. That is a hole-in-one if you've ever played golf, which I haven't. But wow, Skimmy followed up with a 5-man marsh into a 2-man Maw. Then we saw such a nice polymorph onto the Illidan as well during all that going
and
down.
also the Cocoon came across to take out the Uther as they blew up another target. So I'm really impressed with how Zemmy's playing this in Uberak. I'm actually
loving
the
ultimates were they were off cooldown. And they just weren't able to be popped.
Could not be used whatsoever. So GG pulling the pin there, definitely taking advantage of a situation where they can win. And it looked like Tetris just overstayed their welcome really. They went for the night camp, but it didn't have enough DPS to take it quick enough before those respawn timers came back. So now, well, GG have picked up the boss. They're going to siege on through this bot lane as much as they can, and Ember is forced to deal with that night camp that they didn't acquire before.
Yeah, definitely. And everyone, while we have a bit of downtime, it's a good time to talk about this. Remember to chuck out your predictions in the chat. Any MVPs? Who's your favorite player so far? Is it the Brightwing? Is it the Illidan? Who really knows? We want to figure it out. You know, we want to hear from you. So, you know, toss out your comments and enter !MVP to enter the raffle for Commander Rainer skin, and let us know who you think your favorite player is. So
indeed. 11 minutes way into this game now. When looking at the damage, 33k is coming out that Li Ming, the top of the game right now, and to be expected as well. But You know, they can all change in the heat of a moment whether or not GG continue to take this game back. They are still a level down, so don't sort of hold that one against them, and they are structurally in a bit of a weaker situation, but they're finding themselves back into this. They need to hit level 16 before they go for another fight, otherwise that talent tier is really going to punish them.
Yeah, definitely, but you know, due to what we saw last fight, so convincing. They do have a couple cooldowns at the moment, though, that they need to get back before they completely commit to this fight. But look at Corona, and he's really liking the positioning here. He's kind of keen to make something of this, and the Cocoon's already been popped as well in the back line, and a nice polymorph coming out onto Sharper as well. Metamorphosis now being popped to top him up a little bit more, and as Sammy goes a bit too deep in the team fight, more not actually connecting with any members, but it is still one pick onto the side of Gaming Gladiators, 2 picks, so that is very unfortunate there. Corona looking to go even the mile further and get another pick. That is 4 resets indeed, and that is going to equal 4 kills if you've ever played Link.
Yeah, I mean, that's just really the execution. Tetris realizing that at level 16 they can force the fight, but the interesting thing that really sort of stood out for me there was the fact that a noob popped the Cocoon on towards Illidan. Then they were like, well, you know, how do we go for a kill now?
Yeah.
They tried to dive in, but it was just too little too late, and as soon as that sort of CC was down, they were a bit lost for their skills there. So not the execution that we wanted as we saw them actually pull off before, but Tetris know exactly what they need to do. They've left Joanna once again in her favorite position, taking a temple, whereas the rest of the team are going to push and get the siege on.
Yeah, Abathur getting a lot of work in the bot lane as well, pushing with that easy camp, but I feel like what Gaming Gladiators are really trying to do is just really punish Sharper. When he goes in a bit too deep and all the people are waiting there, you know, they might not necessarily want to be cocooning Sharper. They want to be getting the cocoon on someone else, like maybe the Uther.
Absolutely.
And then following up with all their polymorphs and that sort of thing onto the Illidan.
And that's when they're finding the most success. If you saw the
Exactly.
fight before, they polymorphed the Illidan and took out the Uther with the cocoon. Well,
Yeah.
you know, if there's no attention towards that cocoon, Illidan is going to drop, and that's the only support he has apart from the Abathur. So the execution on that fight there wasn't too convincing, but they definitely are not out of this game just yet.
Yeah, definitely might just be a bit trigger happy after that big fight that they just had as well. So, you know, going to have to wait and see. But an XP disadvantage has definitely been befallen to Gaming Gladiators right now. They have to sort of come back as they are very, very far behind. Almost a 2-level lead as of at the moment. But they do look to be getting a hard camp that is going to be pushing up the top lane now. But Illidan doing such a good job with the split push, and that comes from the sweeping strikes, AoE.
Absolutely there, and you got obviously Abathur on top of you, so that can really aid your potential. 19 to 17, a 2-level lead now as they go for the aggressive invade. Evolution has been popped. Big power slide comes across, and the more on top of the cocoon. So 2 big CC ultimates already taken away. There's only Moshpit and Sundering left now for them. They're fighting in a choke spot. This is beautiful for both the Sundering and the Moshpit to come across, but there goes the Condemn coming across on cooldown every so often. But the fight's split now. Coronet has gone across. They're going to go for the big Sundering, but it gets actually interrupted on cooldown for 5 seconds, but he's dead for 45. Beautiful stun combo coming out there from Tetris. They find 2 casualties and another win team fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Coronan, we saw at that fight that we saw a clone actually come out of Joanna, I believe, and the double condemn was just too much for Coronan to make anything of, I'm afraid. So really making that mosh not possible to be taken up, but he backed off there and he maybe could have had an opportunity to get to the back line. He just didn't feel comfortable walking up behind the enemy team and for, you know, a lot of cause there. So, you know, unlucky there for Gaming Gladiators, but now a 3-level disadvantage. So Team Tetris really playing this one to a T. They were behind at the start. They were, you know, having a couple of risky fights, but they really come on top now. And Illidan and Abathur so strong in the late game, and it pretty much only gets worse. So you're going to have to wait and see how this goes. But wow.
This is his favourite time of the game. As soon as this reaches late, especially with Abathur there to protect and empower, Illidan's going to have a bit of a fun time, especially with those Storm talents now being picked up as they are 20. They can abuse this. They've got a double cap right now. Looks like GG are going to go for the aggressive 5-man attention towards the remaining shots of this middle temple, but I don't know if it's going to be enough right now. They're going to leave Illidan for the remaining shots here, and it looks to be as this Tetris is going to back on out.
Yeah, and something I want to comment on as well, Skimmy, is just the Abathur mines. You can see it being so annoying for Coronan and Zemi as they're trying to really establish themselves in these fights. They simply can't. They're trying to get in there and get to the back line, but wow, look at this. They're actually poising to be so aggressive here. Cocoon being popped so early, Skimmy.
Panic.
And they, a very big panic. With Zemi has a lot of escape mechanics as well as Coronan. I don't actually believe they had to pop a big ultimate like that just to get away from the Illidan, but they were looking very aggressive there as Tetris were running after them. So You know, can't blame them for that one. They're feeling safe now. But look at this as they poise around this easy camp. I'm sure Gaming Gladiators are very aware of what's going on. I'll be very surprised if they actually want to go for this easy camp here.
Well, I'll be very surprised as well. It feels like they know that Icebound Waters He's is chilling in that shrubby knows what they're up to. They're thinking that the only win condition that right now Tetris can go for is to take that boss and siege and push with it. But right now, with a double clone on towards Condemn, it really prevents Coronan from actually doing his job.
Yeah, definitely. And the fight's probably going to break out very soon. I mean, it's already broken out. Coronan, you saw it right there getting taken out of the fight so early. That is the mosh out. Body blocks coming out more. Pretty big, connecting onto two members, but too little too late, I am afraid, as it is 2 trades down to none. Delphia is getting charged on by Sharpia is here, and Illidan just being so aggressive. Zami burrowing out of that fight, does not want anything to do with that, but there is 40 seconds of the clock until his teammates come back. Looks like Ember going pretty low here, does get taken out as well. He had no ultimate to pop. Oh, well, he actually did have the cocoon to pop it, didn't even pop it, unfortunately. So look at Thrall here, just trying to do as much as he can. Sharper, BM Sharper, and Juice is coming in with the mines now, 70% slow mines. Really just trying to establish the GG, and it does look like a GG, Skimmy.
Absolutely.
Tetris taking it away. Another convincing win for today. So they've been playing so well. And Solution, you know, you've been doing well yourself.
Yeah, you know, and they find themselves the win there, and that's the, I suppose, the benefit really of an Illidan comp is once you find yourself that lead, it's very hard to come back. You're always applying pressure, and you saw that the pressure was getting to Gaming Gladiators. They started to chuck out those ults, or in some cases not even chuck out the ults. So this is a bit scared to try and run with that coordination, and it is a lot of coordination you need to combat what the Illidan did. So GG to Tetris as they go through round 3. We'll have a grand final up for you right after this one, as well as the draw to win yourself that Commander Reynolds skin. But more to the point, looking at this game, how did the viewers enjoy that one?
Viewers, as always, boys, enjoyed the game and your casting, and they seem to think that Zami did all right on a Nubarak, despite 1 or 2 bad cocoons, and Zagara, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Is it Sky playing on the Zagara?
I believe it's just Whiskey.
Whiskey.
I think it might have been a bit tipsy while he wrote that name.
So yeah, Whiskey on the Zagara, boys, and Zami on the Nubarak are the calls from the Twitch chat.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was actually going to comment on the Brightwing. I thought we played pretty well with the polymorphs, pretty on point most of the time, as well as the healing. And playing solo support's never too easy. But you know what? I'm pretty lost in terms for MVP. That one, I think I might have to let you take this one away, Skimmy.
I mean, I was originally gunning for Zami. I was very impressed by what it was achieving. But an MVP in my eyes is based on consistency as well as flashy play. So for me, in my eyes, I was quite happy with how the Illidan was playing. He was always applying pressure, always being a nuisance. But to really top it off, my actual MVP would be Deuces. I like the fact they actually made a double clone on towards the Joanna. Not something that I actually imagined. But it so really effective. Prevented ETC getting in the fold. He was always looking for those mosh bits, but he couldn't. And if he tried to pull the pin, a Condemn was going to be there. A Wave of Force was going to be there. A Stun was going to be there. So in my eyes, Deuces was my MVP.
Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't really agree more there. Abathur playing such a good game, and I believe Juices hasn't won himself MVP yet, but Abathur is one of those heroes that, you know, not the easiest hero to play, and we see a lot of good Abathurs around, especially, you know, notably one of them being Demise. And it's, I could say that Juices, put Demise to his money that game, so.
Yeah. So I'm going to go for Deuces. Would you agree as well?
Yep, I would have to agree there, so. Well
done to you, Deuces, then. So you're going to go into the draw also to win yourself a Plantronics Rig 500 HD headset drawn at the end of July. Thanks for watching, guys. We are going to be jumping into the grand final right after a quick break, but we'll pass you back to Kit Fox to close it out before.
I do believe, boys, that we're going to have we've still got a tie. Yeah, we're still going to have to break the second place. So Boggs and Jeffries and Tetris are actually going to have to play each other off first, and then we will get into the grand final, and then the winner of Boggs and Jeffries and Tetris will go through to play Maximize. So stay tuned for that one. Congratulations, Douches, for going into the draw to win the Plantronics Rig 500 HD headset. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back very, very soon for week 4, the semi of the Gamestah Heroes of the Storm Ember series.